What's up, Internet? Welcome back to Octopath Traveler, and today we're going to be looking at the secret bosses that give you the secret secondary jobs. This could be Dreisang the Archmagus, or Archmagus, however you want to pronounce it. I would recommend fighting against this one first, because the Sorcerer class is very, very useful to have. It helps you farm for XP and JP much faster, and it's very vital for most boss fights because of the great damage output that he can do, and breaking the guards of your targets. It's a very good one, so this is why we're doing this first. Not to mention that with the right strategy in mind, you can easily take out this guy even at relatively low levels. Most people will recommend fighting against these bosses at level 50 or higher, but we're going to be able to pull it off with a level 47, 35, 46, and 46 on our team, so we're going to have a good time with this. So, starting off with this is going to be Hanitz the Warrior. The great thing about this job combination is that you'll have two abilities that hit multiple times on a single target. I'm talking, of course, about Thousand Spear and Arrow Rain. Very, very good, because the whole purpose of our strategy is to break the guards as quickly as possible. The more you can reliably break guards, the more likely it is that your enemy is only going to attack once per turn. Very, very useful to have. And the Hunter also comes with Leghold Trap, which is one of the best skills in the game, since it makes your enemies much more predictable, forcing them to go last on the next turn. Next up is Ophelia. I get her Scholar, not really for the damage boost, but because with more elements comes more options for us. We want to break through these guards as best as we can, and that's exactly why I've given her Scholar. She has access to 4 elements, so that's going to be light, lightning, ice, and fire, and we're going to be making best use of that. Not to mention that the cleric will be almost mandatory. I recommend having 2 clerics available for this fight, not just for healing, but for reflective veil. Dreisang only fights with elemental attacks, or he primarily fights with elemental attacks. Every once in a while he'll throw a random, normal attack at you. But yeah, he will use that, and they all hit 3 times for each of your party members. The more reflects that you have going around, the more those will hit, and the more you'll reflect back at him. Each of these will do about 1,000 or 900 damage per hit, which is very, very good to have, and it's going to make this fight a lot more easier. Next up is going to be Therion the Cleric. This is my favorite job combination right now. Cleric, because again, you want more of those reflective veils to go around. If you want, you can also go for Elfric's Auspices if you want extra damage. I've decided to give him that. And then the Thief ability already comes with multiple hit dagger attacks, so whenever Dreisang does have a weakness to dagger, we can take advantage of that. Finally, there's going to be Cyrus. He's going to be our main damage dealer for all intents and purposes. While I do try to kind of design these builds and strategies around having lower leveled stuff, I would recommend going for the Knowledge Staff. And since you are going to be fighting against sacred bosses, the Knowledge Staff is located right by the area where Balagar the Runeblade is, so you have no reason to not go ahead and make that a priority. But yeah, more damage, and also the ability to get BP can be very useful in the early stages of this fight, for when Dreisang uses the Divine Majesty ability, so definitely keep that in mind. Next up is going to be the skills. I've given Hanitz a bunch of apothecary skills for tankiness and overall utility. The ability to heal SP can be useful, since I don't want to waste any of that on her. And the ability to have more HP and heal more is always welcome, so that's exactly what we have here. Saving Grace, I recommend having Saving Grace on everyone. Farm up your JP, get Saving Grace as best as you can for everybody, because it's just almost mandatory for these kinds of fights. The more HP you have, the more safe you're going to be every turn, and if you're more safe, that means that any mistakes you make can easily be fixed. Next up is going to be Ophelia. I've given her Persistence, Inner Strength, Elemental Augmentation, just for the very obvious reasons. There are plenty of other skills that you can use. I'm trying to gear this towards people that don't want to farm too much, but if you want, you can go ahead, farm up some JP, give yourself some things like Patience for the Hunters if you really want, or things like SP Saver from the Merchant. All very, very good to have, but again, we can easily get by with our little tactic here. Therion, I've given him pretty much whatever you'd expect, more stuff. Saving Grace and Persistence are always nice to have, because you get more status enhancements, so yeah, definitely go for these ones. And then Cyrus, I've given him SP Saver, Saving Grace, Inner Strength, and Elemental Augmentation. This is pretty much what you expect from a bread and butter spellcaster, and it works very nicely here. Okay, so looking quickly over at the equipment, nothing really too out of the ordinary. I do want to point out I will be using the Golden Axe. The War Spear, feel free to get a stronger spear if you really wish. If you want, you can totally do that, but I've decided just to give it this for more speed. Angel Saber, if you want, you can try using this for a stronger one. The physical attacks don't really do too much, even for someone as strong as Hannet. Feel free, you can do that too, but for the most part, this would probably be her most important one. Arcane Bow is really good because arrow rain hits multiple times, and each of those single hits has a chance to decrease the target's elemental attack up to a maximum of 9 turns, so that's definitely something you might want to look into, especially in tandem with an Elemental Veil ability from the clerics. Yeah, so you see that's not very optimized in any way possible. I mean, if you want, you can increase the to an enchanted rod. Just give her the strongest items that you can, but mainly just focus on giving her more elemental defense and SP. SP is very, very useful on Ophelia, especially if you don't have SP Saber. I've given Therion the Forbidden Blade because Dreisang only really fights with elemental attacks the majority of the time, so buffing him up doesn't really matter that much. And then, yeah, kind of just looking over at the stuff here. If you want, you can use the Crescent Dagger. Having the highest damage on your dagger could be useful, because the more damage you deal, the more SP you'll get back. And finally, Cyrus, not really much that's surprising to you guys here. It's just more elemental attack with the Knowledge Staff, Adamantine Hat, Elemental Robe, and Elemental Augmentor. If you want, you could stack 2 Elemental Augmentors, give yourself that sweet plus 200, but for the sake of you guys, we're only going to be using 1. So I think that pretty much about does it for the party setup. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the video, and I'll take you guys to the boss fight. Okay, so here we are at the Shrine of the Archmagus, or Archmagus, however you want to pronounce it. The nice thing about this area is that you can, in fact, farm the Energizing Pomegranate mediums from the enemies nearby using Therion, or any Thief's Steel ability will net you a couple of them. Also, just so you guys know, for those of you guys that haven't already seen my level 20 to 40 level grind, what you can do too is farm up some medium Olives of Life. Okay, so this is a very weird position. The weaknesses that this guy has from left to right are going to be sword, spear, axe, electric, and light. So that's exactly what we're going to have to try to aim for. We could actually go for a break right now, since Lightning Blast hits twice. I would recommend going for the break to expose each of the weaknesses as quickly as you can, just because we do know that one of the big problems with this guy is that he does change around his weaknesses fairly frequently. Yeah, I'm going to use one Energizing Pomegranate on Ophelia, actually. The reason why I want to do this is because I want to make sure that everyone has some readily available, because Reflect is extremely important for this fight. If you get lucky, you may even hit the weakness of the enemy. But until then, though, we're just going to have to play very safe, because we can't even buff ourselves right now. We have to be super careful how we do this. Okay, so I will donate a BP. Yeah, I will donate a single BP to... I believe Ophelia will have better heals for us, so I'm going to do that. And let's see... Yeah, and you know, I might as well also just go for a 5% steal. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so for Ophelia, I am going to spend 2 boosts, because I know we'll have enough for a full boost the next time, and then go for a heal more to overheal everyone, make use of that saving grace. It's a very, very important skill to have, and I would recommend not going for attacks, since all of your attack power is going to be debuffed. Okay, so Tenitris always hits 300. Each of these spells hit for a grand total of 3, so keep that in mind. The weaknesses that he'll have now, I believe, are going to be Sword, Electric, and Darkness, or Wind. So, let's go for Sword first. Actually, let's go for Wind, just to confirm. Remember, he does kind of play a bit of musical chairs with his weaknesses here, so we want to try to make sure that we never have to guess. And again, Leghold Trap allows us to make these guesses, and make mistakes if need be. The thing is, a fight like this actually isn't that difficult. It's just that there are plenty of mistakes that you could fall into, but as long as you know what mistakes to avoid, then you can realistically be expected to beat this guy. And what else can we do? I should probably share SP, since it's not a buff, it's just something that he can do. So yeah, just top him up. He shouldn't really want for much of that past this point anyway. Like, I highly doubt we'll need to use any Inspiriting Plums on Cyrus right now. Okay, so just go for the 1 hit, and then there's going to be 2 hits guaranteed from Lightning Blast. Remember, spells do not miss, so if you need to bank on a clutch situation, always go for the spell, even if it does less damage. Okay, so the debuff is gone, and that's a good thing, so now we can actually start going for damage. One thing you could try to do is Elfric's Auspices, but I wouldn't really recommend that for this fight, because it's much more important to ensure that you have some Reflective Veils packed in. We can't do it just yet, though, so what I'm going to do instead is just, let's see, we don't have any overheals to work with, so instead I will just use an Inspiriting Plum basket, just to make sure everyone's topped up. We want to make sure we're in a situation where everyone's topped up, and I'm going to expend 1, and we might even get a poison chance. No. Okay. Now, this particular one could be tricky. Just go for the strongest weapon that you have. That's going to be our best bet. Okay, so everyone's pretty much set to go. Now we can buff ourselves, and now we can do attacks. So he's going to use Luke's... It would be nice if we had Reflective Veils available at the time, but that's just how it goes. I have to use Leghold Trap for this one, just in case things don't pan out. Okay, so this will be a weakness to arrows, and... it actually may be worth doing Hired Help for this one. It's 10,000, but honestly, it's guaranteed light-based damage. So let's go for it. 3 hits. Guaranteed 3 hits. And then go for some more Holy Lights. He has a weakness to bow, and we're going to try to take advantage of that as soon as we can. It's more important that we start spending right now. Yeah, okay. Let's do some Reflective Veils now. Okay, so Ophelia, this will guarantee her safety on the whenever Dreisang attacks next. And this is going to guarantee the safety of Cyrus, because Cyrus is our main damage dealer. Okay, so we have to be super careful about this now. What I will do is I'll use the Holy Light, and hopefully Hanit lands some hits with this one. Let's see how it goes. Okay, that's fine. Cyrus, I have no choice. I have to spend some more money on this one. I'd rather do that. Ideally, that would have landed. Or what you can do, actually, is use a Soul Stone. We have a small one that I can use. I would recommend saving your mediums and larges for Kates in the overworld, so we can do that. It's better than spending 10,000, I guess. Okay. So now we have to start playing super defensive with Reflective Veils. It's funny, actually, because this is defensive, but we're going to be doing quite a bit of damage. Okay, so again, just go for some damage. Yeah, Lightning Blast. Okay, so Hanit has no choice but to stomach one of the hits. But that's fine, though. I'm just gonna do this. And then I will have Hanit just heal other people with a Healing Great Bunch. Okay, so I get a bit of an overheal, so Hanit will definitely be able to stomach this one. Let's hope that he hits something that he's weak to. I believe that he's weak to this one. This is a free break for us, and we're getting a ton of free turns now, because he's doing the work for us. Now, this particular form is weak to Dagger, Fire, and Ice. And since it's guaranteed 2 hits, we're gonna be okay. Oh, cool, we got the straight up break. Excellent. And some more hits while we're at it. Alright, that's what I like to see. So, now we can go for a little bit more Reflective Veils. Let's go for Ophelia this time. Have Ophelia do this. And then Hanit, we can use the pomegranates. And 1 medium pomegranate, which you can get from the enemies in this area, are a guaranteed full, a guaranteed full reflect against all of its attacks. So honestly, it is worth farming around here. Okay, so who's gonna be next? Merchant skill. Donate BP to Therion. And then we're going to donate BP to Ophelia. So that worked out pretty nicely for us, I think. Alright, so now we can just get the rest of the team that has not gotten anything. Thanks to that free break. That was a very, very lucky break for us. And you know what, let's use an Inspiriting Plum for everyone too, just to make sure that we can do it the next turn. If ever that happens. So Reflective Veil, and then Hanit. And now everyone is guaranteed, this is a guaranteed 12 hits going back to this guy, which is awesome. Hopefully he's used something that he's weak to. Use Electric. Yes, he's using Electric. This is 3 12 hits. Yeah, I love watching this. Just like, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Oh yeah, this is much faster now. And we're doing pretty well actually. This fight has gone on for less than 10 minutes, and I'm pretty sure we're close to the yellow zone by now. Okay, so what I could do is I will use another pomegranate on Ophelia, and Ophelia is going to transfer and then donate BP to Cyrus. I mean, no, Therion. So again, go for that again. Make sure that you prioritize using the reflex on your clerics first. Let's have some... Yeah, do what? Let's use another pomegranate, because you can farm it nearby. Goodness, farming's so good in this game, isn't it? Pomegranates are great. Alright. So we won't be able to get everyone. Someone is going to have to take some hits, and I elect Hanit for that one, actually. So... yeah, merchant skills, let's just donate some BP to Ophelia. Yeah, unfortunately, one person's going to be short. But honestly, though, we're doing pretty well right now. Remember, always make sure, even in the heat of the moment, you might make mistakes. Reflective Veil over to Cyrus. And Hanit is just going to go for straight-up attacks. Might as well use those attacks. There's no second serving for us to look forward to, but that's okay. Okay, so he's going to use Light, which he's weak to. That's awesome. So again, that's going to be 9 hits, so we only need to do 1 more hit to seal a deal, and we can actually now start stalling for some turns to do the process all over again, which is great. So here we go. I could use a pomegranate, but I think it might be more beneficial for us. Actually, yeah, why not? Like, we're here. So, let's see. No, we don't need to use the pomegranate. Okay. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to heal everyone. It's more important to play it safe at this point, and we're close to overheals anyway. Leghold Trap. Keep that momentum in our favor. Ophelia has enough to fully reflect one person, which is very good. So now we will be able to get everyone if we can. Okay, so we're going to donate BP over to Therion. This is some really fun strategies, isn't it? Yeah, hand it over to Therion. Okay. And then again, go for that full donate BP. You don't really need to use that much damage, but having the knowledge staff does help a little bit. Because, like, you'll never know if there's any straggling damage left over. You want to make sure you can confirm that. Reflective Veil over to... yeah, over to Cyrus. Okay, Cleric Seal, Reflective Veil to Hanit. And actually, we can do another donate. So we can do that. This is actually very safe. Goodness, the things that you can pull off in this game can be absurd sometimes. Although we will have to start getting some SP recovery. So we're not quite in the clear just yet. But we're going to get some guaranteed coverage for everyone for a grand total of 12 hits. Alright, and yeah, we have to get some Inspiriting Plum Baskets out of the way. Yeah, ideally, Ophelia would have an SP saver, but if you don't, you can still do it. Okay, he's going to use Electric, which he is not weak to. He is guaranteed, though, weak to Ice and Dagger for this particular phase. So we won't be able to do the tactic that we've been using thus far, but we are still doing quite a bit. Okay, now this particular character is... let's see. Again, Leghold Trap. If you see it's not applied, you need to use it. And we have a guaranteed 6 hits per turn. So that's more than enough for the 2 turns that we're doing this. So go for the Firestorm. I might as well also use Ice Storm or Blizzard for the next one. So okay, steal SP. Hopefully we can get something to fund our future reflections. Scholar Skill Blizzard. So yeah, like this is a very, very good phase for this particular team, since we have 2 Scholars and a Thief. And yeah, we're gonna have to just finish this. Finish this break. Excellent. And take this time to use Inspiriting Plum on yourself if you need to. Remember, it's always important to have the resources available, rather than to need them and suddenly find that you don't have them. For some damage. It's 2,000 damage. Not much in the grand scheme of things, but better than nothing. Yeah. As much as we can, make use of that knowledge staff that I've been hyping up. Some 7,800 damage. Alright, so start using Reflect. Ophelia would be the priority because she has the lowest amount of HP out of all of us. So we should do that. Reflective Veil on Hanet. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get some 6 hits. Therion and Cyrus are overhealed, and he's only gonna attack once. Ooh, and this is gonna be a guaranteed 6 hits on a weakness, so now he'll only have 4 turns left on his break. This is very, very good. Alright, one more. Now, we have only 1 multi-hit attack, but I'd rather take this opportunity to heal everyone. I think healing everyone's our best option right now. And yeah, we'll use a Lightning Blast while we're here too. Okay, so he's kind of guaranteed to do something. Let's just steal some SP. And then this next turn is going to be Leghold Trap again, keeping things in our favor. Remember, we only have 2 hits, and that's a guaranteed break from a Lightning Blast. So we can go for it. Reflective Veil on Ophelia. And actually, I could do a donate to Ophelia if I were so inclined. And then just have Hanet break with the 2 Sword Strikes. So, yeah, let's do that. Take every advantage that we can. Yeah, remember, just be very, very careful how you do these things. Always make sure that you have enough. Okay, so that's a grand total of 3. And make sure you pick sword, don't pick dagger. I know that warriors don't have daggers, but it has happened to me with Therion, where I picked dagger accidentally. Cleric skill, reflective veil. Let's see. Yeah, start putting reflective veils on Cyrus for this one. So this is going to be a grand total of 8 reflections for us, which is fine by me. Yeah, Golden Axe. Let's see how much damage we can do with this. Lightning Blast. Okay, so let's see what he does this time. There's a dark weakness, but he's going to use light. Excellent. So yeah, that's going to be 8 guaranteed hits. It's always fun watching this, I have to say. It may be a little bit time-consuming, but these safe strategies are what people would definitely want to take advantage of in situations like this. Okay, so Therion could use something. I will use an Inspiriting Plum basket for the entire party. And we will use Reflective Veil on... We'll use Reflective Veil on Therion for this time. Yes. Okay, yeah, and we can do some donations too, which is nice. So Therion's gonna go first, so we'll give him the BP, then use a Leghold Trap. Hanet is gonna go last on that next turn, so that's fine. And we see that he's in the red zone right now. We're very, very close. This is taking very, very little effort. It's just a little bit of thinking. But thinking's not that bad. Alright, Reflective Veil on Ophelia. Ophelia is the priority. Ophelia and Therion are your priorities. Always remember that. Let's see, you want to donate some more BP? Of course. We'll donate BP to Therion. Just in case. Reflective Veil, Cyrus. And now Hannes is just gonna quickly cancel this guy out with a nice good old-fashioned Rain of Arrows. Perfect. We're in a very, very strong position right now. Okay. Yeah, do you know what? Let's use another plum basket. Just in case. Just in case. Let's see. Yeah. Full reflection for Hannes this time. And then Therion is going to be 1 short, so it's going to be 11 hits for him. And we're going to do exactly that. And then Cyrus is just going to do as much damage as he can. Alright, 5,800 damage. And he's in the red zone, so he's quite close now. And he's going to use Light, which he is not weak to, unfortunately. But this is going to be 11 hits of damage. And this is also a very good, remember, this is the perfect team for countering the weaknesses that he has right now, since we're guaranteed to hit 6 times per turn. So yeah, we're in a very, very good place right now. We're like the end is very much in sight. All right, Scholar Skills again. This now is literally just painting by the numbers. Leghold Trap, of course. We're definitely using Leghold Trap, keeping us safe. Best skill in the game. Goodness, I love this. I love this character so much for just reasons that I didn't even expect to. Which is, I love that. All right. So here's the thing. Yeah, I have no choice. I need to just do this. And I'm going to set up some more defense with Ophelia. Hopefully I shouldn't need to. Hopefully he should be dying very soon anyway. But just in case, it has to be done. Oh, and he's poisoned too, so that's some nice damage for us. Oh, it'd been so sweet if that killed. Okay, Firestorm for that break. And then Therion can do a full reflect on someone. Or the poison will kill. Awesome! Okay, that was a bit time consuming. Remember, we are quite underleveled for this, but remember, this is the only boss fight, or yeah, I believe it's the only boss fight that you actually do get to use the full strength of this enemy against themselves, and that's exactly what we've seen here. True, we did use quite a bit of pomegranates, but remember, you can get the pomegranates nearby, so it is worth mentioning. Oh, this is a really, really fun one, but like I said, this, in my opinion, is the easiest out of all the secret bosses. The reason why I say so is because of that reflection. As long as you build your party properly, it doesn't really matter what level you are, and you'll get the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer is, in my mind, like probably, arguably the most useful out of all of them. Of course, War Master is crazy powerful, but Sorcerer helps you reach to levels of power, and is the first big step if you want to make amazing progress as your player in this game. So guys, thanks very, very much for watching the little boss strategy of ours. It would have actually stretched out for a lot longer. I think my original time playing this took like almost half an hour, but we managed to make that in even less levels, and that's what I love to see. Anyways guys, thanks very, very much for watching this little strategy for Dreisang the Archmagus, or Archmage. And, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. So I will see you guys next time. We are going to look at the rest of the secret bosses. I probably won't use Sorcerer, but honestly, who needs Sorcerer? We could use what we've already gotten from the game itself. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and as usual, I will see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.